Today marks the 100th day of President Donald Trump's second term. I called up some PolitiFact reporters to ask them, what's the most significant moment of the past 100 days covering the Trump administration? I started by talking with Maria Ramirez Uribe, PolitiFact's immigration reporter.
So one big change during the Trump administration is the use of kind of archaic and old laws to practice immigration enforcement. And I think one example of that is using the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. The last time the US used that was actually in the 1940s during World War II. And basically the Trump administration is using that law to deport people from Venezuela who they say are members of Tren de Aragua, which is a gang, without due process. So without going through immigration court and getting a deportation order.
For significant moments, our chief correspondent, Louis Jacobson, who covers the economy, pointed to, you guessed it, tariffs.
I think it was what the president called Liberation Day, April 2nd, when he had that big announcement in the White House Rose Garden about what the tariffs that he was going to place on basically every foreign country. Of course, 1 week later, after the stock markets tanked, he stepped back and he did keep the 10% across the board tariff in place, but he paused at least for 90 days those country by country tariffs.
We measured Trump's actions with 3 campaign promises we've been tracking. Grace Abels covers LGBTQ+ issues and pointed to Trump's first day in office, when he signed an executive order that defined the sexes as male or female based on which productive cell a person produces, sperm or egg.
And I think a lot of people, it seemed like a rhetorical move, defining that there are only 2 sexes. But as someone who works on this a lot, it has a lot of trickle-down impact into other policy laws that protect sex discrimination under Title IX. Some courts have interpreted sex discrimination to include trans people, but the Trump administration is not. And so that will be their legal backing when they're trying to pull that federal funding, as well as other executive orders that have threatened federal funding for hospitals that provide gender-affirming care. This definition of sex and male and female is relevant.
Finally, we spoke with senior correspondent Amy Sherman, who covers voting and elections.
I've been a fact checker since the Obama administration, and this is the first administration in which I look to see what an unelected official says every single day, and that person is Elon Musk. The moment for me was when he said that Biden's immigration policy was a giant voter importation scam. We rated that pants on fire. Musk is the most influential figure on the right who is not an elected official on the topic of voting rights and how our elections operate. His ridiculous falsehood about a voter importation scam is just one example of how he has misled the public about our elections.
PolitiFact reporters will continue to be hard at work sussing out fact from fiction. Hear a claim you think needs checking? Send it to us at truthometer@politifact.com.